since we're talking about it. All right, guys, so I think we can get started. Thank you very much one more time for joining today's webinar. It's always a pleasure to see that people wish to learn from us. We welcome everyone. As you can see, I started a recording of this webinar, so we are going to send the recording to you later on as well. And of course, if you have any questions during the call, just feel free to share your questions or your feedback with us using the chat platform. We'll take the time to answer these questions at the end of the webinar. So let me just share my screen with you, and then we can get started. All right, so could you please confirm if you can see my screen and my PPT?
I can see it, but let's just
All
wait
right.
for others to drop in the chat. Could you hear and see us clearly? Awesome, thanks, Leah. Yes, we can.
All right.
Probably all hear you.
Okay, that sounds great. All right, so today we are going to talk about the future of e-commerce marketing, as you all probably know already. And mainly we are going to focus on 6 best list building strategies. It's not only me, but John is also here with us from Recart. Thank you very much, John, for accepting our invitation. My name is Kate, and I'm the on-site journey optimization specialist from OptiMonk. So basically what I do is that I help our clients to optimize their on-site journey by analyzing their e-commerce store and discovering some new opportunities that they haven't leveraged yet. And John is the marketing manager from Recart. What you need to know about Recart in a nutshell is that they are like the leading messenger marketing automation platform for e-commerce. And it is already used by over 150,000 merchants worldwide. And it empowers high-growth DTC brands to sell more with Messenger. Basically, they work together with companies like Blendjet or Grew Life, just to mention really just a couple of them. And of course, John is going to walk us through the fundamentals of messenger marketing and will show us some advanced list growth tactics that you can implement right away on your messenger. So thank you very much one more time, John, for being here today.
Thanks
All
for
right.
having me.
And let's see what you should know about OptiMonk. Well, this is an on-site message toolkit. So basically, whenever someone enters your e-commerce site or website, basically, we start to track their behavior. And due to that, we are able to decide when to show different messages to your visitors so that we can make sure that we always display relevant messages for them in order to make them stay longer on your site, make more orders, increase their average order value, and I think most importantly, their retention rate, which is going to be a key focus of today's webinar. And we are also available in more than 150 countries now, and we are used by 60,000 websites already day by day. So we are getting closer to Recart's numbers, but we are not just yet there. All right, so as I've mentioned, we are going to focus on list building strategies and also on retention rate and how to optimize it, why it's important to deal with your retention rate. And to just get started, I wanted to share some interesting statistics with you. As you can see, Oracle made a survey a couple of years ago, and what they found out was that 74% of senior executives believe that customer experience affects the willingness of a customer to become a loyal advocate. And American Express made another study finding out that 60% of your customers actually doesn't or don't mind paying more for better customer experience. Before just getting to some conclusions, I would like to show you some other important metrics as well in connection with retention rate. What you can see here is that actually the impact of the retention rate and of loyal customers on different KPIs of your e-commerce stores, like add to cart rate or conversion rate, revenue per session, as you can see. And the different columns represent different segments of your audience. Like this light blue here shows you the visitors who are new shoppers in your store. This one shows you those who already have some previous browsing history. The greener the darker green shows you those who made a purchase already. And of course, this one shows you those who have made multiple orders on your site. So what you can see very clearly is that the more often someone buys from you, the more engaged they become with your brand, with your offerings, your product, your services. And it doesn't only affect one or two key metrics of your store, but actually a lot of them, like add to cart rate, conversion rate, and what is really important, lifetime value and lifetime as such. So basically, these are very, very important things that we need to understand about retention rate and why it's important to take good care of that. And of course, this is a good time to start focusing on it if you haven't started it yet, because of the global pandemic that changes our life day by day. It actually has a big impact on how the number of orders made online changes, and how the number of visitors is also changing on different e-commerce stores. You can see actually the number of orders on this chart month by month, and if you take a look at it, you can see that this is 2019 November, this is December, so these are like very busy periods of the year, of course. And actually this one here is 2020 March, when the first lockdown happened. And what we can see is that the number of orders started to grow rapidly after 2020 March. And even though there was a little drop during the summer, these are still higher numbers than we experienced in 2019 November. So what we can see as a conclusion is that basically the number of visitors, the traffic, the volume is increasing rapidly nowadays, and it is continuous. So right now you have a big opportunity to win these visitors for a life, actually. So what we usually experience is that as an e-commerce store owner, we sometimes tend to forget about our customers, and we tend to forget about dealing with them after the first purchase happened, and we are focusing most of our efforts on increasing the conversion rate. However, we believe that other than increasing the conversion rates, the immediate sales as such, we also have some very great opportunities to win customers who are going to become loyal to what we do and why we do that. So what we call it is actually on-site journey optimization, or OGO, if you like it better that way. And to make it easier to understand the main differences, I put together this chart for you. So basically, the first most important difference between conversion rate optimization and on-site journey optimization is its focus. So CRO, of course, it's focusing on increasing the conversion rate, the immediate sales. And we sometimes do it even at the cost of destroying the customer experience. So if you just think about it, when someone enters a site, we don't always make sure that the visitor is already ready to buy from us, or that visitor understands at all what we do, or why we can make their life easier or better, but we provide immediate discounts to them so that, you know, they just don't even know how to get started, which deal to accept, because we show them so many different options. However, on-site journey optimization focuses on improving the customer experience, and that is the most important thing for on-site journey optimization. Um, of course, the metrics they will have impact on is also different, because conversion rate optimization, first of all, improves the conversion rate, obviously, while OGO, other than that, it can also have a good impact on your average cart value, customer satisfaction, or the retention rate itself. And well, usually what we also see is that conversion rate optimization only tries to convince the visitors to purchase, while on-site journey optimization, first of all, tries to create value at every point of the customer's life cycle, so that it better understands that visitors are just people, and they have different things in their mind. They have different needs, they behave differently, and due to that, we need to treat them differently. And of course, the timeline itself is also different, because conversion rate optimization usually requires short-term thinking, because the most important focus is on to close as many visitors to deals to sales as possible. However, on-site journey optimization focuses on long-term strategies, trying to form deep relationships based on the level of engagement of the customers. So let's see these customer awareness stages that I've been mentioning. Of course, this is not developed by us, but this is something that I think can help us a lot to understand why it's important to treat the users differently based on their awareness stages, and why it's also important to provide a better on-site journey for the visitors, so that we can win them for a life, and we can, of course, understand it better when we get to the end of these awareness stages, that our job doesn't end when someone becomes a first buyer on our site. So basically, on stage one, we can see the completely problem unaware visitors who do not even know that they have a problem, and because of that, they don't know that you can solve it. So these can be visitors who come from very cold channels, for instance, like think of a Facebook ad as an example. So probably you are selling bicycles online, and you have an ad which is an image of a woman who is riding a bicycle, and it's a nice image, an eye-catching image. So someone clicks on it, but at this stage you cannot sell them a bicycle, right? You should just sell them the problem itself. You should just build up their problem awareness, letting them understand that riding a bike is fun and everyone should do that. On stage two, we can talk about problem-aware visitors who already know that they have a problem. However, they don't know at this stage how to solve it. So, for instance, if we stick to this example, they already know that they need some kind of transportation options because they do not want to use the public transportation anymore or anything like that. And they just need something, but they don't know what exactly is going to be a good solution for them. On stage three, when we are talking about solution-aware visitors, we already know, or the visitor already knows that they need a bicycle, but they don't know how to choose a bicycle that will suit their needs, because of course an average visitor doesn't necessarily know too many things about bicycles, and there are a lot of bicycles out there, so it's not easy to make a decision even at this stage. On stage four, we can talk about product-aware visitors who already know that they need a bicycle, They also know which bicycle they need. They know that you have it, but you still haven't convinced them enough, and they are still comparing your prices with your competitors, for instance, or reading more customer feedback and such, trying to make them be sure that you are the best choice and best decision. And on stage 5, we can talk about fully aware visitors who seem to be understand um, why you are a good decision. They seem to be engaged enough. However, probably they are hesitant for some reasons. So if we get back to my example earlier about the discounts and such, I think this is something that you can operate with on stage 4 and stage 5, but usually not earlier. But of course, we are going to discuss what messages to display at different stages very shortly. Um, Before just doing that, I also wanted to show you how it's best to get started with your optimization processes. So actually it consists of 3 main steps. Step 1 is analyzing your existing on-site journey, then creating an optimized on-site journey, and step 3 is actually the delivery stage when you are making everything real. And these 3 main steps are also built up of 3 minor steps. As a first step, you should have like a discovery interview even with yourself. When we do it with customers, we usually ask questions like, what is your USP? What makes you different from your competitors? Who are your competitors? What are their strengths? What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? And so on, so that we can better understand your position at your market. And this is what you should also do. This is what you should think about when getting started. And when you already have done it, you can, of course, start collecting data about how your visitors behave right now. Usually we use Google Analytics for that. And when we collected enough data, we will have a bunch of ideas, a bunch of opportunities that we can leverage. And of course, because of that, you do have to prioritize them because you cannot do everything at one time. So once it's done, what we usually do is that we sit together with a team of experts and we start to brainstorm about different solutions. And once we have the solutions, we'll create the on-site journey plan itself. Once it's done, we set up some wireframes, and when the wireframes are all confirmed, we design these messages, set them up as new campaigns, and as a last step, we analyze all the results so that we can better understand what we were able to develop and what we didn't really develop in the last couple of weeks. And as I've mentioned earlier, it is usually long-term thinking because, of course, making someone who is completely problem unaware, for instance, getting to the stage 5, fully aware stage, it cannot happen from one day to another. So the best you can do is to start it over and repeat it continuously, because we believe that an e-commerce store is never done perfectly. It always has some more room for improvements. All right, and as I've mentioned, I'm going to share some tips with you. Actually, I put together 3 different tips, or 3 main topics of tips, and these are going to focus on how to build trust at different awareness stages, how to make sure to be able to create a relationship with your visitors, and what messages should work well depending on the awareness stage of your visitors. All right, so tip 1 is going to focus on your completely problem unaware stages and the problem aware stages. So when someone gets to your site and they do not really know how to get started, or what they need from you, or whether they need anything from you, and you are just trying to build up your trust and build up the problem knowledge, usually it's an easy win to gamify your messages, because people are open for games, and it's easy to ask them for their email addresses and for their and ask them to also join your messenger list, so that you can keep in touch with them later on, and you can personalize their messages that they will receive from you later on. However, if someone is already in the problem aware stage, so that they do know that they have a problem, but they do not know how to solve it necessarily, you can start educating them. And the best to do it is to show them how to materials, like the one in this example on the right hand side. And as you can see, it always also ask for your visitors to join both your email list and your messenger list, so that you can send out different messages, always using the best channel to communicate to these leads. When we get to the solution aware stage and the product awareness stage, the message itself develops. Just like the awareness stage of your visitor changes, the message itself should also change. If they are on the solution aware stage, so that they already know that they need a bike, but they do not know how to choose the best, which will be the best for them, you can show them some buying guides, because it's never easy to understand the product completely, and we experience it quite often that, you know, if someone enters a site, an e-commerce store, there are probably hundreds or thousands or even more products uploaded there. And it's just not easy for the visitor to understand how to get started, what questions to ask, how to filter your products, because they know so few about the product themselves. So it's the easiest to provide them a helping hand at that stage as well, and to ask for their contact information, and show them some buying guides in return. Um, and of course, when they are already on the product awareness stage, you can, at this stage, as I've mentioned earlier, this is stage 4, when you can already start to operate with some discounts if your visitor is not on any of your lists yet. But this discount is also wrapped into another message, like joining the club, which promises some extra value to the visitor at this stage as well. And as for the third tip, we get to those visitors who are already on stage 5, fully aware stages. And of course, we are also going to mention those who already made their first purchase, so that we will see how we are still able to get their contact information after that happens, making sure that we can show them or build the trust with them after the purchase happened. So on the left-hand side, you can see some promotional messages for those who are already fully aware, but show some hesitation. So probably they have added the product to the cart, but they doesn't seem to get started with the checkout process itself, or probably they even try to abandon their cart or anything like that. Well, that's the point when I think a message like this should work like magic, because it's a win-win deal for everyone. You provide them 10% off, but you win someone with the contact information, so that you can build the trust or improve the trust that you've already started to build with them. And on the right-hand side, you can see a message for those who have made their first purchase, but probably they still haven't joined your lists. So at this stage, I think we should still try to ask for their email addresses and try to ask them to join our messenger list, because this is the easiest way to keep in touch with these visitors and these customers, actually. And this is how we are able to make them loyal customers of ours. All right. So basically, these were like the most important tips that I wanted to share with you. And actually, I also put together some main takeaways. So if you don't remember anything else, I think these are the three most important things that you should keep in mind. Like that on-site journey optimization doesn't only increase your conversion rate, but it helps you to better optimize your conversions at all stages. And under conversions, I mean other KPIs as well, like the average order value, the retention rate, the customer loyalty, and actually the satisfaction rate as well. And most importantly, while it is creating value for your visitors at every stage of their awareness, it is actually just making it more comfortable for them to browse around your site. And this is how you can make them more engaged with you, with your brand, and with what you do and why you do that. So what is very important that don't focus only on sales. As I've showed you earlier, the graph about the number of orders, the number of visitors is also increasing, but we shouldn't only be focusing on making more sales. And of course, that's very important. And we should be happy for making more sales, more immediate sales. However, we shouldn't forget that our job doesn't end there. But this is actually a big opportunity for us to build real relationships with these customers and visitors who just entered the e-commerce field. So you shouldn't forget that this is a big chance for you to engage these first-time buyers on scale. And of course, if you do not do that, well, actually, the retention rate itself is not going to change. And we've showed you some statistics, some numbers, why it's so important to do it. And of course, we all know it that it's always easier and cheaper to win someone for a life than than acquiring new visitors and new buyers every day. To make our store grow. So basically, these were all that I wanted to share with you. And of course, if you wish to learn more about on-site journey optimization as such and how to implement it, we also have a guide about it. It's quite detailed. So I would recommend everyone to download it and start implementing what you've learned from the ebook itself as well. And of course, if you wish to give a try to any of the ideas, you can also create a forever free account with OptiMonk. You just have to visit optimonk.com to be able to sign up. And basically, that was all that I wanted to share with you today. So let me just stop sharing my screen, and I just give John the host rights.
Yeah, I am the
Yeah,
host now.
yeah, now it's yours.
Awesome. Thanks. It's this OJO thing was new for me as well. So like I came here to, do a presentation in this webinar, but I was the one to learn a lot. So thanks for that. That was pretty cool.
Happy for your feedback. Thank you.
So let me share my screen as well. You can see my slides right now, right?
Yes, all is good.
Thank you. Thanks for joining us again. Despite us having to postpone the webinar last week, I'm stoked to have you with us here. So let's jump right into it and see what this next few minutes will give you and what you can expect from me in this webinar. So first of all, I will give you a quick introduction to messenger marketing so we get the foundation right. And then I will show you subscription tools and generally speaking tactics to grow your list and to provide a memorable customer experience so you can focus on retention. And then third of all, I will give you an exclusive Recart offer to get started. Okay, so before we get all of like into the messaging and all that, why are we talking about retention? Um, Now more than ever, advertising costs are going through the roof. Last time we checked at Recart, uh, and like it goes up annually approximately 30 to 40%. So every few years, advertising costs, let's say Facebook ads, the prices of ads double. And a few years ago, like the traditional D2C marketing playbook was to grow at any cost. So they raised a bunch of money and they advertised that money away, even if it wasn't really profitable, even if it was at a loss. They kept growing their customer base. So later on the long term, after a few years, they turned into profitable businesses because they after this initial growth phase, they could focus on retention. But now, given the fact that advertising costs are just insane, that's not a viable option anymore. So right out of the gate, even when you're getting started, you have to think about retention, growing your list and nurturing that list, and actually providing a great experience. Um, COVID this year slightly slowed that trend down. So, especially when the first kind of wave hit the world, everyone was most probably during lockdown. So, they spent much more time online, which resulted in more inventory to serve by the Facebooks and Instagrams of the world. So when there's more inventory, prices go down. But now it's back up again. So brands need to find new ways to get their message out in front of their target audience. So they're hopping on new channels, be it SMS or Messenger, sometimes TikTok, because it's just impossible to keep up your profitability with focusing only on paid acquisition. So these D2C success stories, they were possible 5 years ago, but it's no longer a viable thing. So investing in retention is essential and building your list. So that's what we are going to talk about today, or continue to talk about. Let's talk about then messaging in e-commerce. I am going to like just briefly describe these channels. On the left-hand side, we've got email. Everyone knows email. It's been around for decades, and it is a traditional e-commerce marketing channel. On the vertical axis, you can see the user experience, and on the horizontal one, the engagement. So as a user, email is well known. You know that you can subscribe and expect promotions from them. It is a, like, generally speaking, a good experience. You can, like, they can be designed pretty nicely, and like, you know how to use it. On the other hand, the engagement of this channel from a merchant perspective is pretty low. So if you do everything right, if you nail everything, you've got the perfect email marketing campaign, then you're lucky to have like around 20% open rates if you do everything right. And then like you can get into promotions folder and spam folders. So from a merchant's perspective, engagement is low, and like you need to find new channels and do something about it. There's this new-ish or up-and-coming channel, which is SMS. The experience is a little bit lower, but the engagement is so much better. These messages are being read, and like it is a pretty effective channel to get the word out. So in this one, it's not that good of an experience. On however, like you can, of course, like you can send MMS as well, but that will cost you a little bit more. And like there's a lot of technical maintenance to do. So it is a much more complex channel to do. And then there's Messenger, which has high engagement and a great user experience. You can send images, GIFs, and you can put buttons in there. It feels good to use it, and everyone is on Messenger, literally. So everyone uses it, and it is becoming more and more of a mature marketing platform, and that's why brands are starting to use it. So just a quick example of how these channels compare. Again, email, it is pretty designed, like there's a clear call to action button. You can use it pretty effectively to deliver your message. Here's SMS, which is okay, but doesn't really look or feel good for the customer. And then there's Messenger, which combines the upsides of these two channels. So I want to briefly introduce you to the pillars, the fundamentals of messenger marketing. The three pillars are subscription, flows and campaigns, and the messenger ads. Subscription is the first thing that you need to focus on when it comes to messenger marketing. Without consent, without people actually allowing you to send promotional messages to them, it just won't work. You're not allowed to send spam to everyone that you want to. But it's the same with SMS and it's the same with email. So at first you need to nail your subscription strategy. You need to grow your list to be able to effectively use this channel. Then the second one is flows and campaigns. These are automated messages. So these can be cart abandonment campaigns or welcome flows. So when someone subscribes for the first time, they can get like a friendly welcome message, and so on and so forth. There are plenty of use cases. You can send out delivery notifications on Messenger, or you can ask for a review once the product has been shipped. So like there are plenty of things that you can do with these. And then the third one is Messenger ads, which is also a great opportunity to get started with Messenger, because it allows you to subscribe plenty of people in a short amount of time. So if you are, I don't know, like you're still working against the hour to get your Christmas marketing plan in place, Messenger ads can help you get there pretty quickly. So you can grow your list pretty effectively with that one. Now let's talk about subscription more specifically, how to grow your list. Basically, there are two types of subscription tools or opt-in tools. One of them is OnSite. These appear on your store. And then there's OffSite, which is basically anything else that is not like specifically on your website. So these can be like Instagram bio, or these messenger ads, or Facebook posts actually. So there's a feature that allows you to subscribe those people who comment on your Facebook posts, or you can create messenger links or m.me links that allows you to subscribe people. So these can go literally anywhere that is not specifically on your website. And there's the on-site tools. There are plenty of them again. I will show you a few of those, the most important ones, that allows you to subscribe your store visitors while they are on your site. The takeaway here is that in order to have a successful subscription strategy in place, it is recommended to choose at least one channel or like one tool from both of these categories. Not everyone is the same. Not every store and not every audience is the same. So you will have to do a bit of testing, and some of your experiments will fail, and that's natural. That's not a problem. You have to keep experimenting until you find something that works for your specific audience. Just a quick glimpse into how many subscription tools there are. Literally, there are endless possibilities that you can set up. I'm going to talk specifically, for example, about the welcome pop-up next, and messenger ads. So, and we've seen how like emails and SMS could work. There are plenty of opportunities. So you will definitely find something if you take the time and effort to find out what works for you. You will definitely find something that you can use to grow your audience. Now, the first subscription tool that I highly recommend is the welcome pop-up. Why I have this in the first place, because simply put, this is the most effective subscription tool that is available right now. Why do I say that? If you just use a regular pop-up with an email field that you usually use, and like if it's like a good message, nice design, if it's well put together, you can have around 5% conversion rate. So 5% of your visitors could end up becoming an email subscriber. With the welcome pop-up, we usually see like between 15 to 25% conversion rate. So that amount of people, of your visitors who visit your store, end up becoming a messenger subscriber. So it is literally unheard of that you can get that much amount of subscribers with a pop-up. As you can see here on the left, this is how the pop-up will appear once people land on the site. Currently, the welcome pop-up is a mobile-only solution, so it will only show up for those who visit your site on a mobile device. And it will appear like this. It will take over the whole screen. There's basically just one thing they can do, and like besides closing the pop-up, which is hitting this big button, which will direct them into a messenger conversation. So once they are here, once they get started and engage in the conversation, by the time they are here, they will become messenger subscribers. So that allows you to deliver your promotional messages later on. You can start with your welcome flow, and then if they abandon a cart later on, they can get abandoned cart messages, or you can just send like your holiday promotions. Like you can send messages like you do in an email newsletter. So by the time they are here, they are messenger subscribers. So they can get promotional messages from you. Like that's why basically welcome pop-up is the fundamental thing that we recommend almost every merchant that you want to get started with this one. But since OptiMonk is a pop-up provider, it kind of makes sense to talk about how OptiMonk and Recart can work together. And there's another great strategy to use if you want to build your email list and messenger list at the same time. So Messenger, compared to other channels, is kind of like a new thing, and many merchants don't really know how to effectively use it. It is like they are aware of the channel, but like there are a lot of nuances and details to get right if you want to be successful with it. So we don't want, like, it's not a necessity to give up your email marketing efforts to get started with Messenger. So this subscription experience will go like this. First, you capture the email. It can be a regular email pop-up, or it starts like a regular email pop-up that you can set up when you're using OptiMonk. But then, since you are integrating the messenger experience into your email pop-up, after getting an email subscription, you can also get a messenger subscription. So here you show that, hey, it just takes an email to subscribe and to get a discount. But then you want to deliver the discount code in Messenger, so they have to click on this button, and then they get the discount code in Messenger. So instead of just using either email or either Messenger, you can grow both of your lists at the same time using OptiMonk and Recart together. So that's why I say that literally there's no reason. If something works for you, and usually email works, like if you're an e-commerce merchant, you definitely need to focus on your email marketing strategy. So if that works, that is super cool. We don't want you to ditch that. But Messenger can additionally drive more revenue alongside email. Another simple but overlooked way to increase loyalty and lifetime value is just provide great support. And it seems simple, but it's not easy to do at all. And that's why a lot of brands don't really focus on it or don't get it right. What I'm showing you right now on the slide is called a customer chat. So it appears on your site in the bottom right corner by default, and it is basically connecting your visitors into your Facebook page's inbox. So they can just come here, ask the most frequently asked questions, and like you can just solve their problems that they have. And as they start using this customer chat, they also become subscribed to you on Messenger. So this is, besides providing great support and a great customer experience, you also grow your list once again. So those who start using this can be followed up on with promotional Messenger campaigns. So that is also a pretty effective way if you have a lot of questions like around delivery times, or even if you have a lot of returns, like somehow people will find a way to get back to you. They need to find a way to communicate to you, and people don't really like to call businesses these days. They really don't like to call anyone these days. It's just much better to just text them. So if you provide them a way to do just that while growing your list, it is a win-win for both for your customers and for you. Now, the next thing I want to show you is Messenger ads, which is, again, one of the most effective ways to grow your list. When you're ready to capture subscriptions on your site with these previous tools, like the welcome pop-up or like an integrated pop-up, or with the customer chat, it's time to focus on another way of subscribing people, which is going to be off-site again. So it's time to introduce a new avenue of subscribers flowing in, and this is the best way to do that. So what are Messenger ads? What you can see here, it starts with it seems like a regular Instagram ad. It can be in in the Instagram feed or the Facebook news feed. It doesn't really matter. It looks like a regular ad. But instead of driving traffic to your store, you drive traffic to a Messenger conversation. And then you can provide a button that they can push, so that when they click on it or tap on it, they unlock the discount code. You have to find something valuable. You have to offer something valuable. Usually it is a discount code. What I see, just like a little bit of sidetrack here, what I see a lot of brands do is putting an email subscription form into their footer. Just sign up to get news, and nobody needs more information. Nobody needs news. That's not valuable. So I just that is something in the industry as a whole that I don't really get. Why would anyone of course once a month someone will actually do that, but that is not an effective strategy. So you have to find something valuable. It can be exclusive content, or most probably a discount code. So right now, instead of driving traffic from your ad to your store, you direct people to a messenger conversation. They unlock the discount code, and then of course, they become subscribers, and then you can direct them to your store if that's what you want to do. So if the audience that you're targeting is already like well aware of the solution that you're offering to their problem, if they are ready to buy your shoe, you can just direct them to the store. But then let's say that you direct them to the store, but they don't put anything into the cart, they don't finish. You can actually track that with Recart, and since there was a subscription in place, you can follow up on them. Like, did you forget to activate your discount, or did you forget something in your cart? So you can follow up on them and nurture them through your funnel, so they will actually end up buying from you. So if you don't have a lot of traffic on your store, on your site, messenger ads, targeting new audiences with messenger ads is a pretty effective way to grow your list. So why, just a quick recap, why messenger ads drive more value for you? What you are doing with regular Facebook ads or Instagram ads is buying a visitor. So when people click your ad, what actually happens is that you pay, I don't know, $2 for a visitor, just for a visitor. You're not sure that they will actually buy something. So that's what you're buying when people click your ad. And then after, if you are paying again, you can retarget them, because like all the ad platforms provide you with that opportunity. You can retarget people, you can pay again, so they may come back. Instead of using regular ads, you can use messenger ads or click to messenger ads. So, and with that, you get a visitor, but you also get a messenger subscriber, and then you can follow up on those that let's say that they didn't put anything into their cart. You can follow up on those people, and actually you can use messenger, and inside the messenger conversation, you can ask for their email address, or you can ask for their phone number. So again, you are building an omni-channel marketing strategy, because messenger allows you to capture that data. You can capture their email address, their phone number, and then you have more subscriptions to work with. You have more channels where you can reach your audience. And then again, if you want, you can pay again for retargeting. So this is the way that messenger ads deliver much more value than traditional ads. And this is, again, the opportunity that I just described, taking messenger ads one step further. This is a great example of like a mutual customer that uses both OptiMonk and Recart, Blendjet. What they're doing here, they have a regularly looking Facebook ad, but instead of driving traffic to their store, users end up in a messenger conversation. And to unlock the discount code, we're actually asking for their phone number. So we get the phone number, and then we can take that phone number and sync it with your SMS marketing provider. So like there are plenty of other ones out there that they're focused, plenty of apps focused on text marketing. You can sync that data to those providers, and then create that omnichannel marketing strategy. And this has been working really well for Blendjet. And it will work wonders for you as well. And again, if there was no purchase or no add to cart event, you can follow up on them since they are subscribed, and you can just remind them and nurture them to finish the purchase. And now the last thing I want to show you is not solely focused on subscription, but more on driving a long-term customer value and retention. So the tactics and strategies that I just described were focused on growing your list. But once you have grown your list significantly. Once you have a lot of subscribers, you want to capitalize on that. You want to monetize your list. And that's where sponsored messages come into place. These are promotional messages. This is basically a Facebook ad format, but instead of showing ads in the newsfeed, these messages end up in their messenger inbox. It is currently probably the cheapest advertising opportunity that Facebook offers. You usually it takes around $15 for that's the CPM for 1,000 messages seen, and you are paying for messages seen instead of messages sent. So there are a few examples here. Once you have promotion, Black Friday campaign, Christmas campaign, or like New Year's discounts, whatever it is that you want, like you've got new products that you want to showcase, you're launching new products, whatever it is that you want to promote, you can use that list, set up a sponsored message campaign with Recart, and the messages will be delivered into the messenger inbox. So this is the most effective way. Once you have grown your list, this is the way to monetize it. To sum it up, what are the results that you can expect? So the majority of the brands that start using Recart, they can expect a revenue increase of 8 to 14%. So like that is the amount of revenue that is driven only through Messenger. That's the extra added revenue that they get from Messenger campaigns. Their click to Messenger ad flows usually have an enormous amount of return on their ad spend. It lowers customer acquisition. And since you are in a conversation with them, it's not just like a one-way communication, like buy from me. Since you are in a conversation and you can automate the majority of these conversations, it increases brand loyalty and the engagement. So it has tons of additional benefits, and brands just see an increased revenue. And to help you get started with that, we've also got a great offer for you. So you can redeem the offer at recart.com/Christmas. And it's just as I mentioned, because of the fact that e-commerce stores are all different and audiences are different, we want to help you to nail your marketing strategy. So if you redeem the offer here, we'll set up a call with you. You will get a complete onboarding and messenger marketing setup, and we'll help you set it up in a way that is the most profitable for you. So we will follow all best practices and teach you anything that you need to do. Other than that, if you have like specific in-depth questions, you can reach me at john@recart.com. Or if you like already a customer and need some help, you can reach out to our customer success team at support@recart.com. Or if you are an agency looking to offer messenger marketing services to your e-commerce clients, you can reach the Recart agency team at nick@recart.com. Once again, the offer is at recart.christmas.com. So you can just fill a short form there, and we will be in touch with you there then shortly and help you set everything up properly. And I think that is all. Thank you for your attention. And if there are any questions, either for Kate or for me, I think we can stick around for a few more minutes to answer those, if there are any.
Thank you very much for your presentation, John. I could also learn a lot, and thank you for showing us some case studies as well. It always helps to better understand what we can expect from different tactics. So yeah, it was really useful. We did have some questions about whether we are going to send out recordings. Yes, we are planning to do that. I think we are going to send them out tomorrow. If you have any other questions, of course, you can still take the time to to enter them to the chat. But of course, you can also reach out to us directly. Okay.
We've been thorough then, it seems.
Yeah. Everything's answered.
Super cool.
Okay. Well, if we don't really have questions today, then thank you very much for your time and for your attention. It was a pleasure. And John, thank you very much one more time for accepting this invitation. I think it's always great to work together with you guys. So thank you.
Thanks for having me. And yeah, hope to see everyone in the next webinar that we'll have. I'm pretty sure that OptiMonk and Recart will have plenty of these sessions in the future. So I'm looking forward to engaging with you next time.
Thank you. Have a nice day, everyone. Bye-bye.
Goodbye.